Okay, we are back for another episode, if you will. I wanted to try a new intro, so let's try it. It's Saturday night. Welcome to Shut Up and Listen. If you know what that's from, you probably are in the same age-ish demographic from my era as me. That's from Princess Diaries 1. I feel like Lily Moscovitz right now, so that's cool. Last week's episode was all about mental health, and there's some carryover for this week's episode, all about motivation. Again, my name is Powerful Hippie, also aka Haley, and I'm uploading episodes on the YouTube at least every other week or so. Podcast, same thing, every other week, maybe every week. So yeah, thank you for joining us. If you have any questions, you know I am always checking my Instagram, my DMs. So again, you can send me a direct message on Instagram. It's just Powerful Hippie. And yeah, if you didn't get a chance to go back to last week's podcast and listen to all about mental health, in my opinion, it's a great episode. And I gave a lot of awesome information and provided free resources in the description as well. So please go back and listen to that. I really would appreciate it. And if you have any questions or feedback, definitely do not hesitate to reach out as well. I love questions and feedback. Last week I did post a Q&A on my Instagram. So question and answer. I'm doing those periodically whenever I feel like they would be a good fit for the podcast. So I'm going to quickly answer those questions and then get into my tips, tricks, and sage advice for motivation, which can be, take everything with a grain of salt. But anyway, my last Q&A, the first question was, have you ever tried Olympic weightlifting? The answer to that is yes. I have tried Olympic weightlifting. I'm just not as big of a fan as powerlifting. Olympic weightlifting is very technical, and it's not just push-pull like squat, bench, deadlift. I like Olympic weightlifting. I'd like to get better at it, but I tried to have a little coach and it was great. I feel like I would need someone in there in person a little bit more to get more proficient with the movements, technicality, especially snatch. Snatch is so technical. Like a clean and jerk is a 2-part movement, right? Snatch is all one, and it's just really hard for me. I don't make it look graceful. I don't make it look easy. It's not fun for me. I don't even know how much I can snatch. I can clean and jerk 135, so I'm not awful, but it's not my favorite. So, if I do that, probably just for fun. I'm just not that gifted at it. But, who knows? Life's short. Maybe I'll try to do that. Do you track your macros is the second question. So macros as in macronutrients. I'm assuming you mean fat, protein, carbs. All right, let's be real. I am tracking now, which is great. I'm using MyFitnessPal. Here's a little secret as well. I think it works for everybody. I hope it does. If you change your location to the UK, you can scan items on MyFitnessPal for free. So you don't always have to type it in. You can scan it, and it's great. So I use that feature a lot. I am tracking. I'm around 1,900 calories a day, but I'm tracking loosely. I'm not trying to lose weight overnight. I'm really tracking right now because I suck at making sure I get enough protein in every day. I want at least to get 120 grams. Some days I was lucky to get 100, honestly. Right now I'm weighing around 150, so I want to kind of slowly see that scale go down below 148, because if I compete in powerlifting again, I want to do 148 or below. I competed in 165 before, so that's a significant cut, but I'm pretty strong, so I think I can do it. Tracking your macros can be great, but if it's detrimental to your mental health, if you're feeling like you're plateauing, if you're not getting enough energy, consult somebody who's better with that. Consult a dietitian, nutritionist, personal trainer. In my opinion, it can be a great tool. It can also be overwhelming. So start slow, do your research, work with someone who's done it for years, because you can even do carb cycling. You can do higher fats on certain days, X, Y, and Z. There's so many different ways to track your macronutrients. So yeah, it's great, but it's not the only thing, in my opinion. Portion size, again, making sure you're getting enough protein, water, supplements if you need more, if you're deficient, get your blood work done. All those are really important tips and tricks. So yes, I track them right now. This last week though, I've only tracked twice in a whole 5 days because we just got a puppy. That's been taking a lot of my energy. So, yeah. Third question, do you take rest days? Yes. Oh, heck yeah. Definitely take rest days. Oh my gosh. I don't go 6 days in a row usually. I don't go 7 days in a row. Crazy. If you do that, good for you. I go to the gym and I work hard. There are some days I work harder, some days I don't. Some days I'm lifting really heavily with super heavy weights, lighter reps, lighter volume. And some days I'm doing super reps, super sets, drop sets, lots of volume. And so I'm all over the place kind of with my training right now because I'm doing more of a bodybuilding style training protocol, shorter rest periods, higher volume, more intensity, also increasing cardio. So with that, it can be a lot on the body, just like powerlifting, but I need rest days for my mental health as well. I need rest days for my sleep, for my hormonal function. And on my rest days, I also am trying to incorporate yoga or stretching practices, especially because as you get older, your joints aren't as flexible and you really need to continuously train them so that you don't get all keyed up in the gym. Or even at night, when you're going to bed and your body's achy, you can't sleep, and that can, take away from your life. So yes, rest days, please. There's a lot of science behind that too, especially when it comes to powerlifting. Do your research, work with a coach, X, Y, and Z, but rest days are very important. The fourth question, what do you do outside of the gym? I'm assuming that's more of a personal, fun question. I do a lot of stuff outside of the gym. I've been really getting into gardening lately. I put in a garden. I like to go to the beach when I can, but it's getting hot in Florida already. So, whenever I can is the key word there. I like to look for shark's teeth. I have a drum set. I need to play it more. It's a little kind of cheapo electric drum set, but, to keep the creativity vibrant in my brain, I used to play drums all the time. I'm trying to make more art, but art is kind of I've done it. So when you do a lot of stuff, this is just kind of a side note, but when you do a lot of stuff, really intensely, like art, music, whatever, it can be kind of draining. So I'm not putting pressure on myself to make art. If I want to, I do. If I don't, whatever, The last question, ironically. Will there be a gardening episode? I am new to it. Okay, so I guess you're new to gardening and you want to learn more. Yeah, sure. You know what? I think I should do a whole gardening episode because I have made mistakes. I used to garden at UNF's Osher Gardens. I learned a lot from that, actually. I used to help garden at the high school that I worked with. I have my own garden. I've had 3 different gardens at 3 different houses. I've had little potting gardens, so I'm a huge gardener and a huge proponent of it. I've grown from seeds, and I've also grown from Bonnie's plants from Home Depot. I like seeds. I do like seeds. They're great. So yeah, definitely I'll do an episode. Thank you for the questions. If you have a question and you want it to be included in the podcast, including your Instagram handle, just let me know. Right now, I'm just not including the Instagram handles because privacy, for anonymous reasons and purposes, but I would love to give you a shout out if you want to, or if you just want to say, hey, on the podcast, I'll definitely give you a shout out. Heck yeah. This is just for fun for me. I'm purely enjoying just having fun and talking about health, fitness, lifestyle, and everything in between. So today's episode, all about motivation. So much like mental health, in my opinion, motivation is so important, but it can truly come and go. So there's so many stories here, but I'm going to kind of break it down into life motivational tips, fitness motivation, nutrition, and kind of building those habits. So it's going to be in kind of 3 to 4 parts of motivation. But when it comes to life motivation, If you feel like you're all over the place, I will say, make sure you're having some sort of routine. Maybe it's not the same thing every day because that can get boring and monotonous. I get it. But try to have some sort of a schedule. If you're working 8 hours at a time, it's really hard to stay on track with your goals. And that's going to go hand in hand, especially with the gym. Because the gym, for me, at least takes almost an hour and a half to 2 hours a day. Depending on my workout, depending on what I'm doing, depending on driving there, traffic, all the things, all the stars need to align, right? But I mean, a good workout usually takes anywhere from like 45 minutes to an hour and a half at least, or longer. Powerlifting takes longer. Kind of a reason why I'm taking a little break from powerlifting right now. Just don't have the energy. It's so time consuming. But having a daily routine. Now, when it comes to having a family, I don't have kids yet, so I'm not going to give advice because just like having a puppy, you don't know until you know. You have to find what works for you. Take people's advice with a grain of salt. You know, I'm learning. I'm not the best, but I also realize it's harder than I always thought it would be. It doesn't make me a bad puppy mom, but it makes me realize that there are a lot of things that I want to stay at homeostasis and balance, right? So it's really important to stay on track. So when it comes to the family, if you have a baby, again, if you have a puppy or a job, you know, spouse, partner, all the things, a lot of moving pieces, right? So talk to your family or come up again with a schedule, try to follow it. And on that same side of things, when it comes to life motivation in general, organization in the house. Oh my goodness. I could do a whole podcast episode on organizing. I probably, quote unquote, have some sort of obsessive compulsive disorder a little bit. But I think really I'm just so artsy on one side of my brain that I just like things to be clean and neat so that I can create. So I can't focus a little bit. So maybe it's actually ADHD. Who knows? I haven't been diagnosed. But personally for me, I have to be organized, man. If I don't know where things are in my house, I go crazy. Now, it's different. Like if you have a load of laundry or, you know, a dishwasher needs to be unloaded, don't go crazy. Don't beat yourself up. And I need to get told this. So I'm the pot calling myself a kettle type of thing. You know, like I need to not beat myself up. So I'm reminding you, organization can be great. Don't go crazy with it. But oh my goodness, if you've ever not tapped into the organization side of YouTube or even Instagram, TikTok, Facebook videos, like Reels and stuff, especially the Dollar Tree organization, I needed to stop at Dollar Tree, or stop going to Dollar Tree for a while because I think I was going to Dollar Tree too much, honestly. But Dollar Tree has a lot of awesome organization, low cost, same things that you could buy at Target, but for like $1 to $5 instead of $10 to $30 for storage bins and stuff. Organizing your pantry, organizing your fridge. You know, again, when it comes to organizing, for me, what has always worked, even when I was in college, working a job and graduate school, all that jazz, I would start getting the house clean Saturday or Sunday so I could start fresh on Monday. Even though I wasn't working a full-time job, but now that I am, and I start my job on Monday, usually every week, it really helps me start off not thinking, oh, I have to do laundry, oh, I have to unload the dishwasher, oh, I have to do all these things. So everything for life motivation right there, I'm speaking to myself, but I'm speaking from experience. It's all becoming about building a routine that is manageable and realistic. And if you need help, there are life coaches there. There are therapists and counselors that can give you strategies and things to think about for motivation for your daily tasks, because they can get in your way of work, of going to the gym, of relationships, of feeling accomplished. Don't let that get in the way. Another thing that I like to do is spring cleaning, or just do a room at a time. Just say, hey, today I'm gonna go through the closet. I'm gonna go through the drawers. I'm gonna go through the pantry. All these things. Just chunk it a little bit at a time. Don't go crazy. Don't go overkill. But when you have the time and the energy, it can really help you stay motivated and clear your head. So that's kind of my life motivational tips. Again, I'm not a therapist, not a certified life coach, nothing like that. I'm just a Haley. I feel like, though, staying organized and staying on track has been the pivotal reason I've been successful. That's it. I don't let things get in my way. And when I was in graduate school, I had to stay organized because I was working a full-time job, then going to class, coming home, doing homework sometimes, repeating the cycle the next day. It was brutal. Sometimes I wouldn't be able to get to the gym, but I made it a priority to do the walking pad because that was something that I did. That was part of my schedule. So you got to figure it out. Give and take. Also, not a plug, but the walking pad changed my life. That was the reason I didn't gain too much weight in graduate school, because it was so hard to get to the gym more than 3 to 4 days a week. It was really difficult. So can't stress about that enough. It's like a treadmill, but it doesn't go up. It's not like an incline. You can get a walking pad on Amazon for like $100 and it will pay for itself. I've used mine almost every other day for over a year now. So I hope that really helped as far as life motivation. The next one's going to kind of go into fitness motivation, nutrition, health, burnout, the things that I experience as a coach versus a powerlifter, all that jazz. So it's getting juicier, if you will, because fitness, just like anything else in life, can come and go. But if you have fitness goals, whether it's you want to look a certain way, you want to feel a certain way, you want to perform a certain way, if you want to compete in powerlifting, if you want to compete in strongman, Olympic weightlifting, bodybuilding, and you don't know where to start, do your own research, come up with a plan, and then talk to a coach, someone who's had experience, someone who's a certified personal trainer or strength and conditioning specialist like me. Talk to people, get people's advice, work with a coach long term. Even though I was a personal trainer, this is a side note, I had a coach for over a year before I competed at nationals because I wanted stability. I wanted somebody kind of on my butt to tell me to go to the gym and talk to me and just be that person. And it was great. I loved it. And it really motivated me. So having a coach can be great because coaches can take all the guesswork out. All you have to do is go to the gym and execute, right? But if you don't want to hire a coach, just follow a workout plan. There are so many good ones that are inexpensive or even free. I have free ones, link in my bio, in the Instagram, in my Powerful Hippie Instagram bio. I have a ton of free programs. I have at least 2 or 3. I have nutrition plans. I have organizational charts, all for free. I'm not getting any money for this, so I don't want to cost you an arm or a leg. But again, definitely important to have some sort of plan if you don't know where to go, right? A blueprint is so important. I preach this all the time to my students, to my spouse, to my friends. If you don't know where you want to go in life and you're just sitting in that thought, you're never going to go anywhere in life. You got to come up with a plan. And if you don't know where to start, ask for help. Ask for help or do the research, put in the work. Either way, something has to get done. All right. But a workout plan, YouTube videos, even awesome. Chris Gethin has so many on his website. I think it's chrisgethin.com. He's a personal trainer. He has a master's degree in exercise science. His programs they'll kick your butt. They're so hard, but they're great. Yeah. And I think everybody's different, totally different. I started my fitness journey over 12 years ago by doing P90X, and Tony Horton kicked my butt and taught me everything that I know, almost, right? So just again, it goes back to having a plan. But if you are unsure, please work with a coach. Hybrid Performance Method has great coaches. Meg Squats, she's awesome too. Again, Juggernaut Strength Training, I think, is another name of one. There are so many out there. I mean, don't even get me started. I guess another one would be some coaches and personal trainers are going to come at me for saying this, but ChatGPT or other AI can help you. I'm telling you, I'm actually living proof. I gave ChatGPT my goals, my ideas, my input, and it formulated a whole 2 weeks worth of plans for me for free. Oh my gosh, like ChatGPT does have a free version. So even using something like that, you gotta work smarter, not harder, right? So hopefully those helped you. The last one for the fitness goals specifically, are you gonna compete? Do you wanna compete? Again, if you want to compete and you wanna be at your pivotal best, hire a coach, please. They are usually within the $50 to $150 ballpark range a month. They might be more expensive depending on your coach, but they'll give you all the skills. They'll give you the communication, the framework for everything, feedback. Can't stress that enough, especially if you're new. I don't want you to get injured and I don't want you to get burnt out. It's happened to me, and we're going to talk about that in a little bit. The next one is nutrition. It's really important. You can get burnt out and demotivated with nutrition, and I feel like nobody wants to admit it. That's where we all struggle the most. It's so easy to struggle with nutrition, to be honest. You don't really want to think about the food that you're eating. You just kind of want to be able to enjoy the food, not think about it. Be satiated, be happy, right? It's sort of that simple, but there's also levels to it, because if you are trying to lose weight and you're eating in a calorie surplus, caloric surplus, and you're eating too many calories a day, you're either gonna have to really work hard in the gym or be really active to burn all the calories, over calories that you're consuming, or just follow a nutrition plan or a macronutrient plan. So counting your macros, calories, making sure you're eating certain grams of protein, carbs, fats, etc. But I can't stress this enough. I don't want you to get an eating disorder or disordered eating. I've seen that happen to so many of my friends and even people that I've never spoken to but online that are athletes. When you are cutting for a competition, you are kind of in a caloric deficit for months, depending on what sport you're in. Bodybuilding, usually you're in caloric deficit for 4 months or more. And that can be really hard on your mental health, because your body is like, I'm not where I want to be. I'm not at homeostasis. So if you are going to do something extreme like bodybuilding, or you're cutting for powerlifting or something like that, make sure you're working with someone. You do it slowly over time so you don't burn yourself out and you don't hurt your hormones and you don't cause more internal damage than you need to, because that's not the point. We're trying to get healthy and fit here. All right, so don't burn yourself out. But on the same side, there's different options, okay? With nutrition, if you just want to look at a serving size option, there's different serving sizes based on where you are in your journey. That can be really helpful. A little bit less of a mind control when it comes to counting calories, in my opinion. You can use your hand, you can use your fist, thumb, palm. There's different ways to count everything. I do have a guide for that, again, shameless plug, in my Instagram bio. Check that out. But if you do like counting macros, I don't love it, but I need to do it. And I'm more stubborn than anything, because again, I don't know how much protein I'm eating. I can guess, but sometimes I just don't know. And when you're really busy, working a full-time job, you have kids or a puppy, or you're in graduate school or something, like you need to make sure you're consuming enough protein to feel satiated and keep on your muscle, right? But tracking your calories can be great. MyFitnessPal is great. There's other ones out there. I haven't tried many other ones out there. There's some, I think there's Lifestyle or something that comes to mind. But you know, it's not just about tracking your calories. I want you to feel good. So make sure you're drinking enough water, getting enough hydration throughout the day. That can make you have cravings. That can make you feel slumped over. And sometimes all you need to do to stay on track is just meal prep, right? For me, I don't love meal prepping and eating the same thing all the time. So what I've done is a lot smarter. On the weekends, what I'll try to do is kind of meal prep just my protein, because if I have, like, let's just say a whole, Tupperware full of chicken, I can use that so many different ways. I can use that in salads. I can make wraps. I can make a sandwich. I can put it on top of rice or pasta. I mean, there's so many different options. So I like to meal prep proteins and keep that around. But another great tool is having easy snack grab protein. Again, I feel like a new mom right now with my puppy because she is requiring a lot of attention. So what I've done that helps me feel better is having easy, quick things that I can just eat and not have to worry about too much. They don't have to cook necessarily. So Greek yogurt drinks are awesome. I like meat sticks, the ones without nitrates. I think they're grass-fed, like beef protein meat sticks. You can get them at Aldi, Target. There's different brands out there. So that's really something that I've been doing right now too. Tuna packets are great. You can use tuna for wraps, sandwiches, salads, on top of stuff. You can mix it in. And again, easy, fast protein. That's the goal. That really helps you meet your health and nutrition goals a lot faster, because when you're not meeting them or when you're making it overcomplicated, what's going to happen? You're going to get demotivated. Let's say it for everybody in the back. I'm living proof of that. If I'm not on myself when it comes to protein, I'll overeat in carbs to try to make up for the calories, undereat in protein. Feel satiated, but not as good, and I'm not meeting my health and fitness goals as far as losing body fat that I want to, making sure that my blood sugar is good, right? If you especially are someone that has PCOS or high cortisol or hormonal imbalances or metabolic issues, make sure you're working with a healthcare provider or a dietitian. I don't want you to throw off your hormones more, right? Very important. But protein is pivotal for that. It's the building block for your muscle. It's going to keep you satiated longer. It's going to make sure that you're feeling good and have sustainable energy. If you eat only pasta and no protein, you're going to get hungrier faster. So seriously, add some protein. There's animal, there's plant-based protein. Both are great options. If you are vegan, look at different options. I know tofu, soy can have some good ones too, but protein powders can be also great too, but they can sometimes be higher in carbs. So just look at that as well and adjust accordingly. I eat eggs a lot, but sometimes I overeat eggs, so I'm trying not to eat eggs, especially with the price of eggs these days. But eggs are great as well. So again, having fast, easy, quick meals, and I can't stress this enough. If you are going through a lot of life changes right now, please make sure you are having fast, easy, quick meals and getting in that protein so that you can help your goals, because it will prolong your goals longer if you just quit on that. Trader Joe's also has a lot of really good, healthy frozen meals. I found like the turkey meatballs last week and we loved them. They were great and they had really good ingredients. I'm an ingredient looker, by the way. I do look and read the ingredient labels just because I want to make sure I'm not putting a bunch of everything's processed, but you know what I mean, a bunch of added chemicals that make me feel, if I can't understand what it is, if I look it up and I have no idea what it is, I don't want to eat it. Just personally, that's a personal thing. But sometimes it's fine if you need the protein, so that's a whole nother topic. But I like to make sure that my food is delicious and healthy as much as possible and not full of stuff that can be disgusting, right? So please make sure you're reading labels as well. That can help you stay motivated too, because then you're like, I don't have to worry about it. I'm not stressed out about it. I know what's in my food. I know this is a certain amount of protein. I know this is more protein than carbs, X, Y, and Z. So it's not just about reading the ingredients, but reading the macro count too sometimes on the ingredient labels is really helpful. Now that was my nutrition side, my fitness side of everything, but as a powerlifter, I have experienced burnout before. It's very real, especially when you get close to the competition. Just because you have been working for so long, you have been taxing your body, your central nervous system is so tired, maybe your immune system is just not the best, maybe your sleep is lacking. Same thing if you're a bodybuilder. I can imagine, I've never competed in bodybuilding, but probably the same type of thing. So make sure to kind of counter that burnout, that you're doing stuff for yourself, that you're making sure that you're taking care of yourself, your sleep, your stress levels as much as possible. And it's not always going to be about equilibrium. You might lose control sometimes. It's not always perfect balance, But try to take care of yourself. Try to take care of your mental health. Do things for you, at least one thing a day. Maybe go outside for 20 minutes to get some vitamin D. Maybe it's eat a healthy snack that you love. Maybe it's eat a little unhealthy snack that you love, as long as it's not, all the time. Everything in moderation can be okay. But maybe you love boba, so you're gonna go get a boba tea to celebrate something, and just celebrate the little wins. Because when you're going through burnout as an athlete, it's usually because you're so tired, you're putting too much pressure on yourself, and you're not just stopping and smelling the roses. Don't be so intense all the time. It will literally drag you down, right? Now, that was kind of my issue. Everybody is different, but my friend had a different situation where they weren't just burnt out, they were injured. And that's a whole nother conversation, because when you're injured, it makes you feel like, oh my gosh, everything that I was doing is just destroyed my life and I can't do what I love anymore. And that's really hard on your mental health. So if you are going through an injury, whether it's surgery, recovery, anything like that, take it slow, take it steady. Again, don't overdo it, because it's just going to make it worse. When I was powerlifting, I was getting sick a lot because I was so tired and I was not taking care of my body. And I was just, again, in the gym for sometimes 3 hours at a time, which was a lot. And I'm really proud of myself for what I did. It took that much grit and that much dedication for me to get a 900-pound total. And that was awesome, but it was exhausting. And I could not do it now. As I've gotten older, I'm just so tired. If I do powerlifting again, I'm going to have a different approach, because sometimes going to the gym for 3 hours is great, but it just was so much every single day. And especially when you're working a full-time job and you have things going on outside of, the gym, nobody really has that much time. So to avoid that, again, you need to make sure that you're prioritizing your sleep and your stress management for recovery. When I was a coach and I worked with my athletes, as much as they wanted to do well in the gym and as much as they wanted to reach their goals, and they could, I wasn't seeing consistency. I was not seeing routines when it came to eating, sleeping, stress management. So on the other side of everything, as a coach, you can have a plan, but if you're only using the plan once a week, or you're only looking at it a couple times a week and you're not following everything, you're not doing your accessory exercises, you're not stretching, you're not warming up, you're not doing everything that you need to do, it's not going to work the way that you want it to. So please form those routines, build those good habits. It's so important. Now, as a student, working out was harder. So again, like I said, I had to stay motivated in the gym by just trying to go whenever I could. But also on the days when I was too tired, or if I had class after work or something, again, the walking pad was awesome, because what I could do was do homework and walk and get my cardio in at the same time. So I was like, double whammy, multitasking. It was great. Or if you have a lunch break, go walk on your lunch break. Or if you can take class on your lunch break, or if you are a class kind of person, go to a fitness class after work. I mean, there's so many different ways to get it in. You just got to get it in at least 3 times a week if you want to see dramatic changes to your life. Anything less might take a lot longer. But it was hard, right? It was really hard as a student. So what I did is made sure I got my homework done. And then I always went to the gym as soon as I could get my homework done. And I would use the gym as kind of a reward system, and that worked for me. It's not going to work for everybody. It might be the opposite for some people, and that's totally okay. But I'm a big reward person. I have to intrinsically motivate myself. And I kind of create a little reward system, and that works for me. And I love that. So find what works for you. Again, I can't stress, find what works for you, because you are different than me. If some of these things don't work for you, that's fine. But try it. It might really help you stay motivated and dramatically improve your life. Now, same kind of side of that, if you are someone working a typical 9-to-5 job, again, meal consistency is so important, just so that you can get enough protein to fuel your body. Always having water around, staying hydrated. There are some awesome drinks that I recommend, like sparkling waters. I'm drinking one right now. Zero sugar beverages like Zevia. They're sweetened with stevia. There's so many other low calorie options out there. Kombucha is usually a good one. It's pretty low in sugar. It's like 20 calories, maybe 7 to 9 grams of carbs, but can be great because they have probiotics in your system to help get in your system for your gut health. I like some, different teas like Tazo passion fruit teas, decaf coffee if I'm going to the gym late in the day and I don't want to do caffeine because that can disrupt your sleep cycle. Caffeine, by the way, side note, can stay in your system for up to 10 hours after you consume it. So I've gotten on myself when I was in graduate school. I was horrible about that. But now that I'm not in graduate school, I no longer drink caffeine after like 1 p.m. because I need to get good sleep. I'm tired. So again, please make sure you're having consistency with your meals, your beverages, your steps. You're not sitting down all day at work. When I was working a 9 to 5 and I wasn't working from home, I was sitting at my desk all the time. It wasn't until I bought myself one of those little rising desks that I was actually able to stand up because I couldn't sit down. I was getting like sciatica because sitting down, you're putting so much pressure to one side of your body and it's not good for your spine. I'm kind of doing it right now. I'm slouching to the right. Everybody kind of has a side that they slouch to. So trying to improve your posture. I know I'm saying that as I'm doing it the wrong thing. Everybody's human, right? But please make sure you're standing up. I actually have a little thing on my Apple Watch that tells me to stand up when I've been sitting for more than an hour. So it's probably going to go off in a second. I just like to have these little habits, forming these little routines, because again, fail to plan, okay? Then plan to fail. So if you don't plan, you will fail. I can't stress that enough. I've been having that conversation with myself a lot lately, especially because I want this podcast to kind of start, doing the things, right? So motivation is different for everybody. At the end of the day, if you really want it, whatever that thing is in your life, whether that's a job, a relationship, a career goal, gym goal, fitness, whatever, if you really want something in your life, you have to work at it. It's just not going to come naturally. Especially if it's something that is new to you or you failed at it before, it's going to take time. Now, I can't stress this enough too. Life coaches are great. Therapists are great. Career coaches are great. If you are a graduate of a university, usually your university will have career service advisors or counselors for you for free. So take advantage of that. Get some career advice. Get some life advice. Please. If you don't know where you want to go in your life, start digging deep. Making a Google doc or a Word document, that has all the different things that you want to do. Envision that. Making a Venn diagram. Whether you're a New Year's resolutioner or not, it can be good to start there. You have to start making those goals a reality. Don't think that the money is going to come to you. Don't think that your dream body is just going to come to you. Don't think that you're just going to meet the love of your life and everything's going to be perfect and peachy. You have to work at it. Nothing in life is going to be worth it, though, if you don't. Now, everybody's, going through different things in life. Everybody has different seasons in life. So, at the same time, you got to be nice to yourself, give it time, but also work at it. A little bit every day gets you a little bit closer to your goals. I really hope that you found this podcast helpful. This was just something that I wanted to touch on because last week's mental health was it was a heavier podcast, especially with what was going on in the world. So I wanted to try to be that encouragement for you in your corner because I think you're amazing and I know you're going to crush your goals. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a great rest of your day. Bye, guys.